So my name is Carol Keane and I'm a specialist physiotherapist in pulmonary hypertension at Sheffield Teaching Hospitals, and I'm just going to be talking to you about ways that you can stay well in the coming weeks when you might be needing to spend more time at home. So I think it's going to be challenging. You might find that you are at home more, but feeling well or as well as normal, and it can be a bit frustrating. You might find yourself feeling fidgety or restless, or you might find that it really gets you down. So there are different things that you can do to try and keep yourself physically and mentally in as good shape as possible while you can't go out as much as you could have done. Exercise and moving around is important for your physical health, to make sure that you don't lose any fitness or any benefits from exercise that you've had in the past. Make sure you don't lose any strength that you've got and that you can still carry on doing the things that you've always done. And exercise can also make you feel well in yourself and be good for your mental health and well-being too. And then it's also important to help keep looking after yourself in terms of how you're managing your own mental health and well-being. Well, there's plenty that you can do at home, and you might just have to get a little bit creative about it. So things that you might normally do day to day, like doing your housework, getting the hoover out, or even a bit of light work in the garden would still all be things that you could do and that might keep you moving and help to keep you active. What about all the jobs that need doing around the house that have been on your list for ages and ages? You could get some of those done. Again, that's going to keep you busy and keep you active, and that feeling of having ticked some things off that you've meant to do for ages might help you feel a bit better about yourself too. You could spend a bit more time in the kitchen. Now might be the time to try out some new healthy recipes, maybe preparing food from fresh if you've got a bit more time on your hands to do that. Trying some healthier meals, doing a little bit of baking as well. There's opportunities there too. And the other thing to think about is if you is actually doing some exercise. If you normally do exercise, if you go out and do that maybe at a rehab class or at the gym, can you bring those exercises and adapt them into your home? If you're new to exercise, then you might want to try downloading some apps or videos and having a look at those and seeing if you can try out some new things. You could try yoga. You could try exercises that use small weights using bits of equipment from around the house. And now really could be the time to dust off your exercise bike or treadmill that you've got in the cellar and you use to dry your laundry on. There are some helpful apps and links that you can use that are on this website that can point you in the direction of some helpful exercise. There's some yoga videos that have been made specifically for people with pulmonary hypertension. There's an app called Clock Myself, which is really good for exercise at all levels, gentle exercise up to really vigorous activities, which is good for cardiovascular and balance and keeps your brain going as well. And there are some other sitting exercises, breathing exercises, and links to some different types of those that you can do as well. So when you're exercising, you need to remember that it's absolutely fine to get a little bit short of breath, as long as you're not too out of breath. And what we would always say is, if you're exercising and you get a little bit out of breath, but you can still have a conversation, then that's absolutely fine. Now that conversation might be a little bit breathy, you might be a little bit panting as you talk, but that's absolutely the right level that you should be working at if you're doing some exercise that's going to get you a little bit fitter. If you're doing some strengthening exercises, maybe something that's involving pushing or pulling or using some weights or resistance, that's also fine, as long as you're not having to strain or push or hold your breath to move those weights or to work against the resistance. And it's really good to add some balance exercises into your exercise program as well, so you've got the whole realm. Generally, we advise for people to exercise up to 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise a week, where moderate intensity exercise is that you can still have chat while you're exercising. But obviously don't start at that. If this is the first time you've tried exercising, then just start 5-10 minutes. Maybe do that one day, leave it for 2 or 3 days and see how you are afterwards. Try it again another day and slowly build up the amount that you're doing. Breathing exercises can be a good thing to do as well, particularly with pulmonary hypertension where people can be short of breath. If you've been given exercises to do for your breathing in the past, then do those, and we'll have something on the website as well that can help you with your breathing exercises to do. Things like mindfulness or yoga are also really, really, really good forms of exercise and sort of calming that can help you with your mental and physical well-being. And they have really nice breathing exercises built into them as well. So those can be good places to look if this is all making you a little bit anxious and you're feeling maybe your breathing is getting a bit tighter. It's a difficult time, isn't it? And I know everyone wants to follow the news and have a look at what's going on and keep track of everything. But if you're finding that you're doing that a lot of the time and that it's really, really getting you down, then you might want to limit the amount of time that you spend looking at the news or looking at social media, and maybe just go and have a check-in in the morning and then have another check-in later on in the day, just to keep yourself updated, but sort of stopping the amount of time that you might be spending fretting or worrying about it. It's important to talk things through. You might not be seeing people as much, but stay on the phone, text, chat, Skype, FaceTime, talk to the grandchildren, use all sorts of different ways of staying. There's loads of ways of staying in touch these days without being face to face. And I think that's really important as well.